Hey everybody, welcome to lesson 2. It was really great to get to know everybody last week in our introductions discussion board, and I really am looking forward to working with each of you for the remainder of the semester. I just wanted to make a few notes, or give you a few notes about what's on the docket for this week. So we'll be talking this week about sentence fragments, which is an important thing to keep your eye out for when you're writing. You want to have complete thoughts in your sentences, obviously. You'll also be doing some reading about writing techniques and then talking with your classmates about what you learned. Some really interesting readings for the week, I think, so that should be something to look forward to. You'll watch some videos about paragraphing and essay development, all those really exciting things about writing, right? Writing paragraphs, developing the flow and coherence of your arguments, etc. And then you'll also have your first real writing assignment for the week. It's just it's a short, actually, brief, just a love letter to an object. And it will be kind of a fun exercise that I'll talk more in detail in just a couple of minutes here. And so that's kind of the overview of the week. I wanted to point out a couple of things down here along the way. You've got your sentence fragments reading here. The reading assignment for the week, let's open that, look at it really quickly. There are 3 main reading assignments: Born to Write, How Zina Bennett, Let's Get Specific by Beth Johnson, and How to Communicate Effectively by Thomas S. Monson. So those are your 3 main readings, and there's also a supplemental reading by Kurt Vonnegut. If you get a chance, read through that as well. There's some really good stuff to help you develop as writers, to help you start thinking about what it means to write, to use language to communicate with other people, and how you can use that responsibly to communicate your message in the best possible way, so that you're being the greatest influence with your words. And so those are the reading assignments for the week, and they are tied to the discussion board for the week, which will ask you, well, you have 4 options that you can choose from to write in response to for this week. So you got prompt number 1, which deals with the Born to Write. Prompt number 2 also deals with Born to Write, but in terms of technique. The first one is more about the content of the essay. Prompt number 2 asks you to think about how, or the form of the essay, about how it works, some specific techniques in it. Prompt number 3, and let's get specific. Prompt number 4, something about how to communicate effectively. So you can choose any one of those options to post in the discussion board. Now remember, you need to, after you've posted your initial post, you'll need to go through, this says read at least 4 to 6, but I encourage you to read as many as you can, and then you will choose at least 2 of those posts to respond to with 50 to 75 word responses. Your initial posts should be between 100 and 150 words. So keep that in mind as you are writing this week. Now, in the discussion board, I wanted to point this out very quickly. I'll come back here. Actually, I should have just clicked the right button. Click the right button, pull up the weekly class discussion board, and I wanted to just really quickly point out the grading criteria for the discussions. Here we have, you'll get 10 points for your initial post, that you've done that by midweek, and then 10 points for responding to at least 2 other threads on the discussion board by the end of the week. Now remember that these should be quality posts, that they should be substantive, it should contribute to the discussion. Ask questions if you feel so inclined, kind of speak back to the other writer, so we can turn this into more of a discussion, a conversation, instead of just kind of people throwing out their ideas and you think about it for a second. But I would encourage you to try to turn this into as much of a discussion, an actual conversation, as you really can, because I think we can really learn from each other in this way. And so that's the discussion for the week. So we've got the reading assignment, the discussion for the week, some more grammatical things, and then your writing assignment for the week. We have your first draft will be due by midweek. Now again, this is just something, it's short, just a 1-page writing assignment, 1 to 2 pages, 250 words minimum. So that's about 1 page minimum. Now, I want you to write a letter to something that you love. Now, this should be a thing, not a person, an object or an activity. You want to describe it as fully as possible. Describe what you love about this thing, its qualities, how it fulfills you or makes you happy. You should start it off by you should address the object specifically. And there are some student examples here. If you click this, it will pull up a Microsoft Word document. You can open that up and look at these examples. For instance, we have Dear Georgia Mission, Dear Red Truck, and then you can read through those. They give you a good idea of what I will be looking for as I go through this assignment. So your first draft will be posted on this page here. You'll just do, you want to submit to the quiz by midweek, and then by the end of the week, you'll need to submit that elsewhere. Oh, and here are the grading criteria for the assignment. You'll want to take note of this. Again, like I mentioned before, it needs to focus on one object, discussing the most significant qualities and expanding upon those in the paragraphs. Another thing I'll be looking for, that it's well organized, that you've transitions effectively. So make sure that you're not just jumping from idea to idea. And this will come back to the paragraph development and, well, the paragraph development, essay development, things that you'll be looking at this week. But that as you move from idea to idea, you're transitioning effectively between them, so we know how you expect us to connect one idea to the next as you move through the flow of your essay. Now you should address the object directly, and it should meet the length and formatting requirements, which are included right here. Should be double spaced, Times New Roman font, 12 point, 1 point margins, 1 inch margins. Don't triple space between paragraphs, indent the beginning of each paragraph. Include and center a title for your essay. So pick a fun title if you want to do that. I think that can make it maybe a little more interesting for you. So those, I think, that's the main things you have on the docket for the week. And your pathway gathering will be on Thursday. By the end of the week, you'll have some reports to turn in. So just a few things to keep in mind throughout the week as you go. I'm excited to interact with you a little more, to get some of your writing and to begin really the deep work of the course. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to let me know. My inbox is always open.